So what is parvovirus? Back in August, a little dog was brought to our shelter fighting for her life. She soon lost consciousness and actually stopped breathing. Due to the quick actions of our veterinary team, we were able to quite literally bring her back from death, where we then discovered that she was suffering from parvovirus. We want to share her story and the story of many other dogs that have gone through our care that have come into our shelter with parvovirus. With the help of her story and the story of dogs just like her, we hope to educate the Hamilton County community as to what parvo is and the dangers that it can present for your own dogs. Please enjoy.
So the symptoms of parvo that we see most often are vomiting and diarrhea, but those are usually preceded by easier to miss things like loss of appetite or lethargy, so just lower energy, no interest in food, and then vomiting and diarrhea, they get pretty severe pretty quickly. So the most susceptible populations for parvovirus are populations that are unvaccinated. So that can be puppies, that can be seniors, that can be a healthy adult dog. If they don't have a vaccine history, they don't have an immunity for parvo. The P in most of the core vaccines, so DAPP and DHPP and all of those, one of those P's stands for parvo. So unvaccinated is the biggest population at risk. Or animals that just don't have a good immunity, so animals with underlying disease, or puppies, again, huge population at risk, or animals with other issues like intestinal parasites or worm burdens, things like that can make them more susceptible as well. So depending on their symptoms and everything else, the test that we have to run is a fecal swab. So it is a test on their poop. We either get it from a sample that they have left for us, or we do a rectal swab. Dogs that are untreated for parvovirus, it's, I think, a 10% survival rate nationally. Our survival rate at CAC is above 85% survival. So parvo treatment is supportive care for the most part. So we treat with antibiotics in case of secondary infections from the parvovirus, causing damage to the GI tract and other parts of the body. So it's antibiotics. We treat for the diarrhea itself. We treat for nausea. Sometimes it advances into needing glucose support or electrolyte balances, and every single time it will include fluid therapy, either sub-Q, so under the skin, or IV into the vein. So we make sure, of course, they have all of their necessary medical care for adoption. So that would be their microchip and heartworm test and rabies vaccine and all that stuff. But they also have to be bathed out of isolation. So since parvo lives in the environment, it will live on the dogs themselves. It'll live on their bodies, in their fur, on their feet. So when they come out of our parvo isolation area, they go straight into a bathtub and they get bathed no less than 3 times before they can go out back to our general area. Statistically, the majority of animals that enter a shelter, and our shelter in particular, are not vaccinated. There is an idea that your dog could not be exposed to parvo because you don't go to, say, like a dog park or a pet store or places where there's high dog traffic. But what people don't realize is that parvo lives in the environment without a host for months and months and months. So it is in the environment all around us. Animals that aren't dogs, like raccoons, can spread it. So even if your dog only goes into your own backyard, if they're not vaccinated, they could get it.
Now? Okay. Okay. Oh, we're up. Oh, are you feisty?
What just happened, huh?
She says, I didn't die.